week of that Bama football content. What's happening, people? You're rocking and rolling right now. Hottest show in these streets. Let's go. Talking nothing but Bama football news in my own words. Yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Happy to be joining you on a Monday. We bring you the show from the magic city of Birmingham. We stream this to you through YouTube. Speaking of a channel, you know what time it is. Get locked on. Get rowdy. Hit that subscribe button. Tap subscribe right now. Get cooking with your number one show Talking Bama football. Tap that subscribe button right there on the YouTube channel. Hit the like button as well. Drop the like button, tap the like button, smash the like button. Get those thumbs up right there. We appreciate the support coming from you. That daily super chat go $100. Daily super chat go $100 right there. Appreciate all of you. We got a lot to talk about, a lot to discuss here. Spring football coming closer. First day of spring practice will be March 4th. You got the A-Day game set. You got a lot of things set in motion. You got Kalen DeBoer on the recruiting trail. You got Coach Saban enjoying that retirement, working on that golf swing. Of course, he'll be back on campus soon for spring practice to start. Got a lot of things happening right now. We want to hear from you tonight. And you can do this by calling 205-448-1358. The number to call in to let your voice be made known on the show. 205-448-1358. And one more time, 205-448-1358. But without further ado, Eli, let's jump into topic number one of the conversation, that being on Wednesday, Alabama's about to get a major superstar, potential showstopper to sign his national letter of intent for the Crimson Tide. That being one five-star wide receiver, Ryan Williams, by the way of Saraland High School in Saraland, the South Alabama region right there. And Ryan Williams made the announcement on his social media today that he is signing his national letter of intent with his team on Wednesday. I know our own Justin Smith, the scouting the director of scouting and recruiting for TDA, is expected to be down there in the Mobile area at the Ryan Williams signing. So he is signing his national letter of intent to play for the Crimson Tide here coming up on Wednesday. And here's a guy in Ryan Williams, five-star prospect of whom in 2 years at Saraland High School accomplished so much. We're talking about a two-time Mr. Football in the state of Alabama, came so close this past season to taking Saraland to a Class 6A state championship. He did so much on the field from a wide receiver perspective, and although he could be playing and should be playing his final year, his senior year of high school football, chose to reclassify, come out a whole year early, and even in reclassifying, he's still a five-star. Even in reclassifying, he's still arguably the number one player in the state and arguably one of the top players in the nation when you look at the whole recruiting landscape. So big ups there to one, Ryan Williams. And here's somebody that Kalen DeBoer is going to be officially able to say, I got him in here in terms of Wednesday. Now, of course, he recommitted to the Crimson Tide. Williams, who had initially committed in the Nick Saban era, Coach Saban announced his retirement from coaching at the University of Alabama, which made Williams back off his commitment, which we can all understand that. But Kalen DeBoer, upon being hired as the head coach, was able to get back down there to the Mobile area, get Ryan Williams back on campus for an official visit, get him back recommitted, and now on Wednesday, the young man will sign his national letter of intent for the Crimson Tide. It is going to be very awesome here in Tuscaloosa, especially if this young man is able to come in here and be the showstopper at wide receiver that we all kind of expect him and anticipate him being, especially after what we saw him put on display at the high school ranks. So much excitement with the Ryan Williams signing on Wednesday. Going to be fun to kind of see that all unfold there. But we take our first break here on the show. Don't touch that down. We're just getting you started. Upon our return, we want to hear from you, right? We didn't get a chance to hear from you guys much at all last week. So we want to hear from you. Light us up. Ring those phone lines. Bring us your thoughts. your conversations, your opinions, your viewpoints. We want to get to you, the Bama family, right after this.
Touchdown Alabama is a fully independent outlet that covers all things Alabama football. Founded in 2007 when Nick Saban arrived, we have been here through the entire Nick Saban era. In this new era, now is the perfect time to stay up to date on everything Alabama football and know what's going on, including everything that's going on with recruiting. Our website at touchdownalabama.com will always keep you in the know on everything that's going on with the Crimson Tide, and you can also get breaking news notifications with our app. We have over 100,000 followers on Facebook, over 60,000 on Twitter, nearly 30,000 on Instagram, over 30,000 on TikTok, and we're constantly growing. Also, be sure to become a part of this rapidly growing venture and subscribe to touchdownalabama.com to get inside and premium information on the team as well as recruiting inside the state of Alabama. We are constantly adding to our premium subscription package, so be sure to lock in now.
Remember the taste of Grandma's delicious sweets? Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes brings back those precious memories with just one bite. Each cake made from scratch. They make the perfect dessert to share with family and friends for any occasion, and ordering is easy. Visit emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Click the online store and shop. Then pick up your fresh cake at the kitchen in downtown Homewood. Order yours online at emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes, making memories from scratch.
All right, people, we're back locked in to the action from the break. Number one ticket here for your Crimson Tide football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Got my man Eli Walker in the production room, handling things behind the scenes. Continue tapping that subscribe button, getting yourself involved with all things Tide football, hitting that like button as well on the show. We appreciate that. Phone lines open right now, 205-448-1358. Number to call in to let your voice be made known, 205-448-1358. We're going to start with this call right here. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hey, Steve. This is Mike from Kentucky, man. How you doing tonight, brother?
Doing good, Mike, and yourself?
Man, if I was any better, I'd be twins. You know me, bro.
Hey, let's go, man. Let's do it.
Hey, man, I caught a Courtney Morgan interview the other day, and I tell you what, man, that cat impressed the hell out of me, bro. We in good hands, bro. We ain't going to slip.
Mike, not just the way that this man talks, but ever since he's gotten here, he's been on airplane after airplane and car after car all over the state of Alabama and surrounding areas recruiting. Like, Courtney Morgan understands it.
He's been around. He ain't no shave-tail Louie. That man knows what he's doing. I only got one complaint, though, bro. Give that man a decent office, man. His office looks like a broom closet. They need to give him an office with a view, bro. Roll dead, dumb tide.
And not just that, stack him up with some Alabama gear, please. That's my main thing. Stack him up with some Bama gear because he's on the plane. Like everybody else on the plane, they got a scripted A on their shirt or one of the classic Bama logos. And I look at Courtney Morgan, poor dude. He's out there with like a suit and tie, and I understand that. But my God, give him some Bama gear.
At least give him a good Bama tie or something with a diamond pendant with an A on it or something. Tie.
If anything, give him a houndstooth hat with the A feather sticking out of it.
He's the CEO. He's got to be a suit and tie guy, though, man. You know, he can't show up in sweats. He's a suit and tie guy, bro.
He cannot. So even as the general manager, give him just a tailor-made Crimson Tide suit, something.
I give him a better office. That's all I got to say, bro. Roll dead gum tide.
Appreciate Mike from Kentucky calling in, getting us started here on a Monday. I'm just saying, I mean, if Courtney, if he's going to be here recruiting for your Alabama football program, at least have him some Bama attire. I mean, the front office is good too, but at least some Bama attire, people. But we take this phone call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
It's Derek from Omaha. What's happening, Steven?
Derek, I'm doing well, man. Cannot complain here. Bama basketball doing its thing. We're inching closer and closer to spring football practice, which should begin on March 4th. I have no complaints.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I'm coming in a little late. I'm just coming in, and I got on the show and stuff like that. I don't know if anybody else talked about it, man. But what's going on with the OC situation? Offense coordinator situation at Alabama, man. I'm sick and tired of people poaching us, our players, our coaches, our position coaches. Leave us alone, man. What's going on with that?
So the good news, Derek, with Ryan Grubb, the OC who followed Kalen DeBoer from Washington to the Crimson Tide, Grubb's not going anywhere. I know there was a report out there from Pro Football Talk talking about the Seattle Seahawks were interested in Ryan Grubb, and this is a formality. Of course, when you look at NFL teams that lose a coach, of course, they're going to look at some of the hot names out there on the college landscape due to the game that's transitioned more so to offense. So Grubb's name was looked at, but Grubb did not make the move. He's been spotted with Kalen DeBoer on the recruiting trail, with Coach DeBoer visiting several of these high schools in the state of Alabama. Ryan Grubb, and at this point, Seattle has actually turned their search elsewhere to look at somebody else. So at this point, Ryan Grubb's not leaving the program.
Good, man, because I'm like, man, let us build something again. Leave us alone, man. We already had these rats jump off the ship, and these position coaches, they're in it for, just I can understand you in it, to build your resume and stuff like that, man. But if you ain't there for the program, man, you got to go anyway. But enough of that. What's going on with Pringle, man? The basketball team's coming together, but Pringle's acting like he want to be the lone wolf. What's going on with him?
That is something interesting right there, and it's crazy because good kid, just not the right situation, not the right thing. In terms of, I'm not sure what he did or what was the issue there, but I know you've got Mark Sears playing well. You got Rylan Griffin playing well, Grant Nelson playing well, Estrada playing well. All of these guys playing well. I'm not necessarily sure what Pringle did. I think Eli is saying that he violated team policy. So he had conduct that was detrimental to the team. That's what my guy Eli typing up here on the screen. Eli follows Bama men's basketball even more closely than I do, so I appreciate you, Eli, on that. So according to Eli here, Nick Pringle had conduct that violated team policy. Now, what was that conduct? I'm not sure about that, but if it was detrimental enough to where he's not playing in the game, it's something serious.
Yeah, I mean, he was there last year when we went through the BS that we went through last year, man. I mean, come on, man. I know these are kids and stuff like that, man, but, your career can be cut short so quick with these dumb reactions, whatever he's doing. I don't know what he did. I wasn't there. I can't co-sign. But, considering what we did, what happened to us last year, and we escaped, obviously, I mean, we don't have time for these knuckleheads trying to bring us down, man. Pringle's a good guy. From what I've seen, he's a good basketball player. I don't know him as a person. But, man, if you ain't ready to be down with the program, man, you got to go. And that's plain and simple. That's the way I feel about it. But I want to say, man, what happened to you on Friday? I was waiting to, man, I was so sick of this thing going on with Alabama. I was like hoping that you were going to be here, be on last Friday, but you weren't. I'm happy to talk to you right now. But I just want to say, man, thanks for coming back on, man, and just keep it going, man, and roll tide, and, thanks for what you're doing, man.
Absolutely. Derek from Omaha calling in here on a Monday. Wasn't here Friday due to had some family time there, so it was me and the family on Friday. Got a chance to relax with the family. Really enjoyed that time there, but it's going to be back. Going to be back here on Monday. Getting a chance to talk to you, the Alabama football family, the Alabama football fan base. We take this call here. You're live on the show. What's happening, how we feel, and state your name and where you calling from.
Hey, this is Corey calling from Trustville, Alabama.
How we doing, Corey?
I'm doing great. I got a couple of things I want to ask you. One, has the Ryan Grubb to Seattle rumor / speculation cooled down in your opinion?
I think it has, Corey. Seattle has actually turned its attention to somebody else. Ryan Grubb has been visibly on the recruiting trail with Kalen DeBoer and other coaches for the Crimson Tide. I think the Seahawks have turned their attention to another guy, another target that they're going after to be the offensive coordinator.
And then I know this will be another topic you'll talk about, but I want to kind of get a jump start on it. You wanted to know how we should honor Nick Saban, and two ways I think we can do this. One, obviously, name the field after him. I mean, I think if I'm not mistaken, he was 103-9 at Bryant-Denny Stadium or something like that. And or two, like, if you remember, do you remember when Florida State and Bobby Bowden had when Bobby Bowden passed away, they put the hat symbol on the field. They could put the straw hat symbol on the field or something like that, just like they have the houndstooth ribbon for when the Tuscaloosa tornado came through. You could do something like that, but really more important would be like naming the field, because I know, to me, you want to keep Bryant-Denny Stadium, but make it Nick Saban Field, because it just seems so important. Because when you have two of the greatest coaches in college football history, Nick Saban and Bear Bryant, they belong somewhere in the stadium, in the name of the stadium, some way, form, or fashion.
Corey, that's a great point right there, and I know I'm going to discuss it more later on in the show, because you have to find some way to honor what Nick Saban has done for this and not just the program, but the city of Tuscaloosa, the state of Alabama as a whole, and even college football as a whole, how he changed the landscape of the entire thing. So, Greg Byrne and the powers that be, the board of trustees at the university, they have got to be wrecking their brain in what are we going to do to properly honor this man, this patriarch, if you will, when it comes down to Alabama football, when you discuss Nick Saban. So Greg Byrne and that staff, they're going to have to put something together.
Yeah, I agree, because we're not just talking about the greatest Alabama head coach, the greatest SEC coach. We're talking about the greatest coach of all time. I mean, you have to do it. If you're going to do it, you're going to do it right. And like I said, and it's not taking anything away from George Denny or Bear Bryant. I mean, you can leave Bryant-Denny Stadium in the title, but if you make it like with Georgia's football stadium, they left Sanford Stadium alone and named it Dooley Field. You can do the same thing with leaving it Bryant-Denny Stadium and naming it Saban Field or Nick Saban Field. You can do that, and that would be perfectly fine. You wouldn't be messing with Bear Bryant or George Denny. You wouldn't be messing with that name at all, and that would be fine with me and a lot of people. And or if you don't want to do that, which I'm sure a lot of people want the name of, like I said, if you want to do something on the field, like put something like in the grass, like what they did with the houndstooth ribbon or something, to just something to commemorate Nick Saban. But I'm sure they want to go way and above and beyond, like I said, with the name and stuff. So that I'm sure Greg Byrne and the president and everybody will come up with something, because Nick Saban is a person that deserves to be recognized at the very best possible.
Absolutely, the very best possible way. Corey from Trustville calling in here on a Monday. Appreciate his thoughts on the show. And as you guys are continuing to get your thoughts in, 205-448-1358. The number to call in, 205-448-1358. We go to our call topic here. Kalen DeBoer continues adding to this coaching staff. Welcome in William Inge, who follows DeBoer from Washington to Alabama. Inge, who served as a co-DC on DeBoer's staff for the Huskies, now comes to Alabama as a defensive assistant, maybe working with linebackers. He may be the outside linebackers coach, Eli, because the inside linebackers coach, that's going to be Kane Womack from South Alabama, who's your defensive coordinator and linebackers coach. So William Inge, this may be your outside linebackers coach. This may be your guy for Quandarius Robinson, Keon Keeley, Keanu Colt, Yonsei Pierre, those outside linebackers. Here's your guy for him right here. Kalen DeBoer doing a phenomenal job. DeBoer also brought in Kevon Coleman as a graduate assistant for defensive backs. Coleman, who's from the state of Alabama, from Sheffield, Alabama. Coleman played in the Southeastern Conference, was a defensive back for Mississippi State from 2013 to 2016. He also coached at Florence High School and Hoover High School. Coleman worked with one Jaleel Hurley at Florence High School. Hurley, a redshirt freshman at the University of Alabama. Hurley may have a chance to start this year at corner. So, Kalen DeBoer getting the right coaches in here. Ties to the South, ties to the Southeastern Conference, even some ties to Alabama when you look at Kevon Coleman. But William Inge in here, defensive assistant, will work with linebackers when you discuss that position. But we take a break right here, folks. We'll touch that down. When we return, we get into a conversation. Jalen Milroe talked about how Alabama hungry, more hungry than ever before, and working with one Kalen DeBoer. Why is that? We'll break it down after this. We're out here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa. Oh yeah, oh, man. Gotta get this. Gotta get one of these right here. Can't rock that Bama without this shirt right here, fresh polo. You gotta also rock the all pink, like Kanye West right there. Keychains, gotta get you some keychains. University of Alabama keychains. I'm telling you, if you are a die-hard Alabama fan and you're looking for some big-time apparel, this place has got everything. We're talking shirts, shoes, sweatshirts, hoodies, cups, mugs, keychains. If you're just a Tide fan that has an itch to get more apparel, get more swag in your game, you come right here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa, right here in Midtown Village. And also you can shop online. The link is in the description to get your gear right here at Alumni Hall. We also have new, fresh, exclusive TDA gear you can get right now at Alumni Hall. That's in store or online. Hit that link in the description and search Touchdown Alabama to view all of the available gear. Hurry and get yours before they're sold out.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, Tide fans, here we go. Checking into the action from the break. #1 form for Bama. Football news, in my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. You know what time it is. You continue tapping that thumbs up, tapping the like button, hitting that subscribe button, getting yourself locked into all things Crimson Tide. Daily Super Chat Go, $100 daily. Super Chat Go, $100 right there. We thank all of you. Topic 2 now, the conversation. Jalen Milroe, back in his hometown of Houston, Texas, over the weekend, he was doing the TriStar production event, and he talked about just different things. Nick Saban's influence on his life as a person and a player, his goals for spring football in the upcoming season for Alabama, him being a rising junior quarterback, and then working with one Kalen DeBoer, and how that's going to be. And how exciting that can, and how much excitement that can generate. And, Jalen Milroe talked about it. The team very excited to work with Coach DeBoer. Excited, ready to work under him. They got, they're hungry for more to work under Coach DeBoer. They're excited about what this guy is going to bring to the table in terms of pushing them to be at their absolute best and building off of the foundation that Nick Saban laid for 17 years, the National Championship Foundation, the foundation of excellence, the standard of do your job, the standard of win at the highest level, right? And this is what DeBoer has signed himself up to do, wanting this challenge to be the successor to Nick Saban, wanting this challenge to continue on the Bama standard, wanting this challenge of, taking where Saban left off and bringing it to an even bigger echelon, if you will. This is what Coach DeBoer wanted to do, and Jalen Milroe talked about it. We're ready for it. We as players ready for it. We're hungry for it. And why are the players hungry for it? Well, this is an Alabama team that finds itself in a 3-year national title drought. Never been this way before. 3-year national title drought. You didn't get a national championship in 2021, though you got to the national championship game. You didn't get a national championship in 2022, and though you got to the college football playoff in 2023, you came 4 minutes and 41 seconds short of advancing to the national championship game. You get beat by Michigan in the Rose Bowl. So a 3-year title drought, you're trying to get back there. And although Alabama prevented Georgia from hoisting the college football playoff national championship for a 3rd year in a row. It kept Georgia from three-peating, which was huge. It kept Georgia from three-peating, which was a big deal. This is the reason why Alabama is still living in Georgia's head rent-free, because Coach Saban prevented Kirby Smart from getting that three-peat. However, Bama's hungry to hoist that championship for itself for the first time since the 2020 campaign. So this is the reason why Jalen Milroe mentioned we are hungry, we are ready, we got a chip on our shoulder, we want it just that bad, and working with one Coach DeBoer. Now, of course, for you as the Alabama football fans, you want less talk, more action. We heard all the talk last year, especially from the offensive line, saying how we're going to be mean, we're going to be physical, we're going to dominate, we're going to do all of this stuff, and it didn't happen that way. So now, U.S. fans, we've grown tired of hearing talk. We want more action. We want that thing done on the field. That's where we've gotten to. We want that thing done on the field. So for Coach DeBoer, for him, it's being able to have these guys get this done on the field. For him, it's being able to uphold the Bama standard his way, but to uphold it, getting things done on the field. He's been phenomenal putting the staff together. He's been phenomenal keeping core players in the program that want to remain in the program. He's been phenomenal getting out on the recruiting trail. All of these things have been good. All of these things have been fantastic. But now in terms of getting this group to play physical, getting this group to play relentless football, getting this group to play to a standard of we got to get back there. We got to get back to the college football playoff in the upcoming season, and then we got to be able to finish. Got to get back there, and we got to be able to finish. That's going to be on the forefront here, or on the mind of Coach DeBoer. But it was good to hear from one Jalen Milroe talk about how hungry this team is, the players are, to get that job done. But we're going to go to another break right here, folks, on the network. Don't touch that dial. When we get back, we return to your phone calls, your thoughts, your conversations. We get back to you, the Bama fans, right after this.
Every sports fan deserves the proper representation. Whitwell Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care. In support of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99 and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to whitwellsports.com and get your Title Towel today.
This is Chris Rogers, 2009 national champion. You are listening to the baddest, when I say the baddest, sports show in the state of Alabama. In my own words, you know, yours truly, Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Don't touch that dial.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. People are back into the action. From the break here, number one ticket for Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Got my man Elon Walker in the production studio. Heading in that business, folks. Ryan Williams, 5-star wide receiver for the Crimson Tide, committed right there, will sign his national letter of intent on Wednesday. Time for Alabama. Our own Justin Smith, the director of scouting and recruiting for TDA, will be down there in the Mobile area for the signing of one Ryan Williams. Should be a fun one right there. We're going to go to the phone lines to grab your calls. Call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. The number to call in, 205-448-1358. You're live on the show. What's happening, how we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Steve, what's going on, man? It's Rod from Mobile.
What's happening, man? How we doing?
Doing good, man. Excuse me. I got 3 questions for you tonight, man. The first question is, what do you think of this William Inge hire? What do you think he'll be doing on staff? I don't know a whole lot about him, considering he coming from the West Coast.
With the William Inge hire, Rod, I think he's going to be with the linebackers. He'll work with the linebackers in some shape or form. Probably not the inside guys, but he'll probably work with a lot of those edge, linebackers that can come down and play defensive end. So, and especially in the 4-2-5 set that Kane Womack's bringing in here, a lot of those edge guys would have to come down and be defensive end. So he'll work with a lot of those edge linebacker type guys.
Got you. My second question is, I see we haven't hired a special teams coach yet, man. I would love to see them go steal Scott Cochran and bring him back home, man.
That would be, that would be an ideal move. That would be a good. Scott Cochran has been one for a long time to be an on-field position coach anyway. And if you were to pull Coach Cochran back for a special teams aspect, and even just his get your mind right, mental, structural mindset back, that'll be great also.
Yeah, he's coaching special teams right now at Georgia, right?
Yeah, but to have him back in Alabama, if you were able to pull that, would be ideal, because that's the one side of the ball so far that there has not been a confirmed coach yet, and that's on special teams.
Yeah, man, I would love to see him come back, just to have somebody with that old Bama still on staff and, to keep things rolling. I know it's going to be a whole new culture. Different coaches they do things different ways. So, it'd be nice to have something of Saban left behind in there. But my third question would be, man, Ryan Williams is coming in. I'm pretty sure, I think everybody thinks he's going to play right away as a freshman. My thing is, what veteran receiver do you see transferring out? Because, you got 16-year-old freshmen coming in. I'm pretty sure one of them veterans is going to hit that portal.
That comes down to Rod, spring practice, right? Because if you look at Ryan, I think Ryan's not going to come into the summer anyway. So you look at spring practice, and whichever one of these guys spring practice feels like I'm not where I thought I would be at, then those would be the guys that could hit the portal, pursue the transfer portal. So it's going to come down to spring football, spring practice. How many of these guys fit what DeBoer and Ryan Grubb and wide receivers coach Jamarcus Shepard want to do? Those that fit remain. Those that do not, we will see some of those guys pursue the portal.
Yeah, man, I can see that a lot. I guess my last question for tonight, and I think Domani Jackson is a penciled-in starter almost. Who would you think is the other starter outside of him at that corner position?
That's where the fun is, Rod, because of the fact that you got a lot of young guys. Jaleel Hurley could be the other guy. You look at somebody like Drake Kirkpatrick Jr., Xavier Brown, Xavier Mincy. A lot of these young kids are going to get a chance. A lot of these young freshman kids, they're going to get a shot here. So it's which one shows up and shows out in spring practice. That's what's going to come down to. Which one of these young kids are going to show up and show out there in spring practice? Appreciate Rod there for Mobile calling in, giving his thoughts on the show. 205-448-1358. But I'm going to call in to let your voice be made known. 205-448-1358. That's the number right there as you guys are continuing to get your thoughts in, too. Call in. Another call topic here, Eli. You're going to have some Bama players in the NFL. A couple of those guys will be pursuing the free agent market after the Super Bowl, which is between the 49ers and the Chiefs. One of those guys that could pursue the free agent market would be wide receiver Calvin Ridley, former Bama standout, former first-round pick of a 2018 draft by the Atlanta Falcons. Because of him violating the league's gambling policy there. He had to serve a year suspension, got traded from the Falcons to the Jacksonville Jaguars in this past season for Jacksonville. Had a good year. But he had like 73 catches, 1,016 yards receiving, had 8 touchdowns, started building that rapport with one Trevor Lawrence. If the Jaguars decide to bring him back on a long-term deal, they would have to come off a second-round pick and a third-round pick, or a third-round pick, which I think Jacksonville has the capital to do that. Now, if Jacksonville decides to not sign him back for a long-term deal, then Ridley goes into free agency, and it'll be interesting to see if he pursues free agency. Where does he go? I mean, Eli, you're a Falcons fan, and I remember you and I talked before the show. If the Falcons can hit on a quarterback in this draft and they're able to bring back Calvin Ridley, how much fun that could be to have Calvin, Bijan Robinson, and Kyle Pitts along with Drake London. That'd be fun. That'd be really fun right there. So we'll see how the Jaguars play it. They can bring him back for a long-term deal. You'd be without a second rounder and a third rounder, but I'd be fine with that. Or if you choose to not bring him back for a long-term deal, you lose Calvin to free agency, and any team can pick him up, even the Atlanta Falcons. My goodness, we will see what happens there with one Calvin Ridley, who showed last year, even after serving a year suspension, he still got it. Calvin still got it. You even got to look at Derrick Henry. Where does he go to? He's going to be pursuing the free agent market. I would like to see Derrick with the Baltimore Ravens. Derrick maybe with the Dallas Cowboys. We'll see. We take our final break here, folks. Don't touch that dial. When we get back, we're going to get into this discussion. I mean, truly, how should Alabama honor Nick Saban? We had my man Corey from Trustville call in and say, name the field after Coach Saban. But how truly should Alabama honor the greatness that is Coach Saban? We'll talk about it after this.
I'm Malachi Moore. You're watching In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith on Touchdown Alabama YouTube channel.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
What's going on? This is Benny Bice. I'm the founder and owner of Touchdown Alabama. And you guys are supporting one of the only independent outlets covering Alabama football today. No other sports, no networks, just Alabama football. Roll Tide Roll.
All right, people, how we feeling? We're back into the action from the break. Number one ticket here for your Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Appreciate all of you helping us out here on the show. All of the phone calls, the commenting. Good to be back here talking Bama football with all of you. But we get to the final discussion here of this conversation on the show. And truly, how does Alabama football go about honoring Nick Saban? How do you honor a man, a father figure, if you will, somebody who changed the whole landscape of college football, if you will, an individual of whom brought you 6 national championships, 9 conference titles, a boatload of top-ranked recruiting classes, 4 Heisman Memorial Trophy winners, several 100-plus players in the NFL draft, including 40-plus first-round draft picks. He and his family built 19 homes for Habitat for Humanity. Nick Saban, just so many things. You can't put into words. So many things he did for the university, the city of Tuscaloosa, the state of Alabama as a whole. And how do you go about truly honoring this man and giving the impact he made its just due? It's a loaded question, Imai. And the reason why it's a loaded question, there's so many suggestions that we have, right? You have the obvious, name a street after him. Nick Saban Drive, Nick Saban Avenue, Nick Saban Boulevard, Nick Saban Parkway. You name a street after him. Some people say, well, Steven, name a building after him, right? Name a building on campus after him. You go that route. You name a street, you name a building. People go, that route right there. And then you have those that go, well, Steven, name the field after Nick Saban. Like my guy Corey from Trustville. Nick Saban Field. Name the football field after him, But then, I had a conversation with a good friend of mine this morning, and he said, Stephen, as much as George Denny meant to the University of Alabama, did George Denny mean more to Alabama than Nick Saban did? I mean, would the fans be okay with dropping the Denny from Bryant-Denny Stadium and call it Bryant-Saban Stadium? Or Saban-Bryant Stadium? Would they be okay with that? And that kind of got my wheels turned a little bit, because George Denny means a whole lot. It means a lot. But the two most pivotal titans, figures, influential, massive impact, they make the program what it is. Wouldn't that be Paul Bryant and Nick Saban? I'm just saying, wouldn't the two most influential pillars, Paul Bear Bryant and Nick Saban? I mean, it would be, right? I mean, it would be. No, I'm not telling Greg Byrne to do this. I'm not. I'm more so telling Greg Byrne to build the Miss Terry Saban statue. That's what I'll be telling Greg Byrne to do right now. By the way, Greg, have you started that yet? You need to be starting the Terry Saban statue if you haven't yet. But I'm just saying, in terms of dropping the Denny from Bryant Denny and replacing the Denny with Coach Saban, I'm not asking Greg Byrne to do that. I'm just bringing this to the conversation table because a friend of mine brought this to me and saying, why not drop the Denny and make it Saban Bryant Stadium or Bryant Saban Stadium? I'm perfectly fine with keeping Bryant Denny Stadium at Nick Saban Field. I'm fine with that. I mean, to me, I'm fine with that. I even had a friend that said, well, Steven, make it Bryant Denny Saban Stadium. And I'm like, that's a little too wordy, though. Like, Crimson Tide fans will have a hard time. Well, babe, where you going? Child, I'm going to Bryant Denny Saban. What? Like, that'd be hard. Like, Saturdays in the fall, you know, you're packing the family to go see an Alabama game, and Auntie saying, y'all, where y'all going? We just going to Bryant Denny Saban Stadium. That's a lot. Is that not a lot Eli to say at one time? You don't think so, Eli? I mean, I think it's kind of a lot, man. Bryant Denny Saban. I think that's a lot, man. That is a tongue twister, Eli. You just wrote that's a tongue twister. So, to me, I would go with Nick Saban Field at Bryant Denny Stadium. I'll be fine with that. I mean, dropping the. I mean, fans, hit the chat line up, fans. Hit the chat line. Do you drop the Denny and go Bryant Saban Field? No, Bryant Saban Stadium. Do you drop the Denny? Or do you keep the Denny and you find something else to honor Saban by? Like, Bama fans, what do you think? Drop that in the chat right now. Drop that in the chat. Drop that in the chat so that Eli can see that and we can pull some ideas here, because that's a serious question that's being had right now. Is how do you honor Coach Saban for what he's done in terms of the program and bring it to new heights and new levels and new respect, if you will. Man, do you name a building? Do you name a street sign? Do you? I mean, do you? Man, it is hard. It is. Do you name the players' facility after him? Nick Saban Complex? Like Nick Saban Complex? Do you do that? I think that'll be doable. Nick Saban Complex? Let's see what some of the fans got here as Eli's getting this written down, what a lot of you are writing, what a lot of you are saying, and appreciate all of you for interacting with this. Let's see here. Okay. So this is yours, Eli. Bryant Denny Saban. Okay. Bryant Denny Saban. Okay. Ain't bad. I can get down with that. Bryant Denny Saban. Okay. You guys continue to get your thoughts there in the chat line, folks. As always, you want the best in news, notes, information, coverage on your Alabama football program. You can get this by accessing the Touchdown Alabama magazine app. You download the app from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple, Google Play Store if you got the Android phone for your audio needs. Check us out, iTunes or Apple Podcasts. Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, Google Play, or iHeartRadio. We got you covered right there. We appreciate each and every last one of you for what you do. Donating to the show, calling in, super chatting, commenting in the YouTube chat line. You, the Bama Nation, you guys make this what it is. Definitely want to shout all of you out. Gotta show some love to my man, Dale Bay! One time dropping in that $10 donation. Helping us out. Appreciate that from Dale B. Gotta show some love to my man, Eli Walker, in the production studio, handling that business right there. Till next time, folks, husbands, love your wives. Wives appreciate, value those husbands. Children continue doing the right thing, fun thing, smart thing, good thing, legitimate thing to not be bored there. You get yourself those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. You protect yourself. You protect the loved ones around you. Till next time, folks, I'm your man, Stephen Smith, and you've been listening to In My Own Words.